Hey guys, it's Sun for Games, and I'm continuing my way on my top favorite camps from Final Fantasy XI. We've reached the real Ballbuster period, level 60 to 75. Ballbuster? Who the hell says that anymore? Where did I get that? Ballbuster. Nobody says that. What the hell? Ugh. We're getting to a pretty weird portion of the game here, mostly because I only had one job post 70 and the period before Treasures of Adargan. Most of you will remember that Treasures of Adargan totally rewrote camping at level 55 plus, but much more significantly, it altered the entire party style dynamic, basically how we played the game for all levels. Adargan was burn party. Screw skill chains, screw magic bursting, just kill, 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 don't stop, chain 300, we can do this. Before Adargan, it was like, we got chain 7. That's incredible. How do we do that? I'm still happy with chain 5. Point is, most of my memories of camp options at 70 plus pre-Adargan are just stories, myths, rumors of a camp that only worked with 2 summoners and a corsair or some weird shit like that. I mean, not that, but just weird legends of amazing party spots that I never actually saw. But we'll get to that. First, let's keep going from where we left off. 60. So you just hit level 60. Presumably, you just finished your artifact quests, I hope. Please do those. And 75 has never seemed like more obtainable goal. It's probably not, because before the adjustments in XP, it took as much XP to get from 65 to 75 as it did to get from 1 to 65. True story. I think they adjusted that at some point. I remember it getting a lot easier, but oh my god, 65 to 75 was rough. So, some parties would sneak off at this point down to Labyrinth of Von Zozo and fight traumas. I swear there was only one spot you could do that though. And occasionally an Oaks would pop and you'd either be able to take it and somebody would maybe get an Assault Jerkin, or you couldn't take it and your camp was ruined. I don't know. The Paralyze was super annoying regardless though. You can also hit up Flamingos in Sky or head to the Boyana tree again for higher level crawlers. Then you'd move up to Steel Shells and then Gobus. But honestly, I rarely got any of those camps. They were usually pretty packed. Boyana was a busy place for skill ups and other stuff anyway, so camping there was kind of hard. It was tough to find a full group that even had Sky access, so the birds were usually out. So instead, Bibiki Bay. Who doesn't remember Bibiki Bay for the rest of your life? 62-ish, you can start out with those Tragopan birds, just beautiful little birds with nothing special going on about all. But you could keep sliding right up onto goblins with their now severely life-threatening bomb toss, and everyone's favorite the Dalmels, the giant Dalmels. Light skill chains for days. Seriously, if you couldn't make light in a party, you were really upset about not being able to make light. Light destroyed these guys. These could take you all the way up past 70. I first hit 70 on one of these camps as summoner. Those poor people that had to deal with my shitty, crappy summoner at 69. Oh my god, nothing good going on there. If you had a ninja tank, you'd happily let them keep berserk up so you could just annihilate them. But if you had a paladin or something, you're down like, But this is all from days long past. Ever since Adargan, you'd rarely ever go to Bibiki Bay for anything related to XP. Unless you were a truly desperate party. Without sanction extending your food duration, giving mages auto refresh, it was just slower and not as good. So instead, for that range, a lot of people would level off Pucks and Wadjum Woodlands, which would just make you miss your tender little Calibris. Confuscate flashes the whole party, making everybody just kind of useless for 10 seconds, which is just annoying. It would get like 15 shadows or something, and everyone's like, oh, we're getting through them. That frickin' pushback move would sometimes knock you into another camp and you'd aggro like 10 things. No fun. Then you'd go back to the now standard Calibri instead of the lesser Calibri in Baflau Thickets, or maybe some Date Iruka, leading up to things to come. I remember learning Wheeling Thrust on Date Iruka. Those things were awesome. But I was severely disappointed in Wheeling Thrust. The damage was like, ugh. Open light skill chains, but at this point in the game, nobody did light skill chains anymore. But there were a lot of Date Iruka camps, so those were usually a good little level range. You could level up on those guys. And it was close to town. And then once we were done with those crawlers, we would go right out to Mountain Xylem and fight them forever. Seriously, it felt like it was just so long that you were out there fighting these damn crawlers. Magmatic Irukas could last you from like 62 or 63, depending on whether or not you had a bard to help you out, all the way to 69 if you really pushed it. They were basically just regular crawlers, but could like breathe fire at you, which is weird. I've leveled on these assholes with so many jobs because it's just such a wide level range of like big levels that took you a lot of partying to get through. So many good parties, so many bad parties. There were some bad parties. I had a party that we got out there, we fought like 4 Magmatic Irukas, and we're like, this isn't gonna work. I don't know what went wrong, but this isn't happening. But why stay here till level 69? Because at 67, you could attempt frickin' Heraldric Imps. Urgh. I literally use these dicks as a reference whenever I discuss the decline of Final Fantasy XI. They were introduced into the game literally to just remove all fun. The fact that they could silence you was bad enough. It's just kind of annoying, and you gotta have a mage constantly like Seleniang. But Amnesia Amnesia, who the hell's idea was Amnesia? Some guy in Square Enix was sitting around one day and was like, what if one mob removed players' abilities to do stuff? What do you mean, like they missed most of their attacks? No. I mean abilities, weapon skills. What if they just couldn't use them? That sounds miserable. Let's do it. Seriously, every fight imps would just temporarily steal your ability to use weapon skills, to even try to skill chain, which nobody did anymore, to use jump, to use meditate, to use defensive abilities like Saigon Third Eye, or Defender if you got in trouble. You just couldn't do anything. Imagine Final Fantasy XI with only auto attack. That was in parties. And jobs that were really good because of their abilities, like Dragoon only has like 3 things it can do anyway. Jumps make up most of the benefit of Dragoon. Samurai's meditate is huge. They'd just be like, sorry, can't do it this fight, maybe next fight. And then after they did Amnesia, they'd always silence you right then too, and they'd just be like, ha 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 ha, screw you, screw you. Unfortunately, they're still one of the tenderest mobs in the game, and especially for that level range, and if you can stun their spells, they really don't do all that much. So everyone partied on them, and I'm sure still would to this day if we didn't raise the gap to level 99. It was awful. And the camps are always just gone too out in Kaderva Mire. I mean, there were never enough, because now you're at the level 70-ish range, but you're competing for camps that are being used by merit parties. So let the last 5-level hell begin. At this point, I was using every trick I had. Campaigns, besieged, goblin pets, whatever I could to just squeeze my way up to level 75. Not that there weren't good camps. Baflow Thickets against Mamulja. I love Mamulja. They were like a variety of different job styles, so each fight was like unique and cool. The Scoff and Wyvern Mamulja camp in Mamuk, that was pretty neat. I did that like once. The delicious Greater Calibri camp. Oh my god, if you got one of those, you were having a great day. And their friends that were in the camp, the like giant rhino things, which kind of sucked. I just remember there were like multiple levels of camp, and you like couldn't get back up them. Hell, even hill trolls in Mount Xylem if you had to. The problem was, meriting was leveling at endgame. I mean, it wasn't unusual for the camps everywhere to fill up. Still though, people made it work. They found little spots they squeezed in and took like an extra mob every once in a while. These are all the camps that I capped out on. I mean, I think even my summoner didn't actually get to 75. It got to like 73 and then sat there forever. And then after Ottergon, I finally pushed it to the last 2 levels. I remember pulling as summoner in a merit party with Carbuncle because we couldn't find a bard to sleep pull, and everyone was like, we can't merit without a bard. And I'm like, we can do this. And I spent my whole job was to run out with Carbuncle, pull a mob back, toss out a couple cures while I was in the area, and then go to get the next mob. And I would throw out like Fenrir buffs and stuff when I was back. It was tough though. But we got like chain 200, so screw them, I did it. I've merit pulled as Thief with Sleep Bolts, Summoner's Carbuncle. My buddy and I would swap off. He was Red Mage pulling one time. I don't even remember how he did that. But do you remember before Ottergon, the camps that were around? I'd hear rumors, these myths about the huge bird camp out in Lufay's Meadows. I never got to do that, although I've seen the birds now. They were always taken. 4 monks, a white mage, and a bard would go down to King Emperor's tomb somewhere and just like fight skeletons, and I heard that was like the best thing ever because they would just destroy these skeletons. But skeletons are like the most annoying monster in the game, so I don't know why you would do that. But I heard it was awesome. Players had some of the first roaming parties ever up in Sky. You'd go indoors and just move around from camp to camp of weapons, fighting weapons. The briefest of rumors. I think I did one of those one time, and it was weird. The closest I ever got to unique setups like that was actually after Ottergon. I had an all-black mage party in Mount Xylem fighting puddings. Man, that was actually a really fun party. I'd love to go back and do that. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. We did it 1 to 75. We've nailed all the cool camps. I know I missed some. There's got to be a ton that I missed. But these are the biggies, the big ones that everybody went to, and even a couple little mentions of weird ones that nobody knows about. Let me know in the comments if I missed your favorite camp, and definitely tell me all your favorite stories from this level range, or the whole level ranges. Fuck it. Tell me all the stories. Let me know if there's specific Final Fantasy XI stuff you guys really want to see in videos. I've already gotten some amazing suggestions so far, and I can't wait to put those videos out, so definitely hit me up with whatever you want to see. As always, subscribe if you're new. I've got plenty of videos coming each week, and I really hope to see you guys back, so thanks for watching. Or was it 60 to 75? 60 to 75 or 75 to 70? 75 to 75. Once you're at 75, it took you another 10 years to actually obtain 75. Crazy. That's actually kind of true with merits. I'm babbling.